Hey guys and girls, welcome back to 396 Guitars. We have an Ibanez 6-string on the bench today, honkin' bass guitar. Let's get to work. Remember, if you dig what I'm doing, like and subscribe and share by all means. So, what we have here is an Ibanez Geo, Sound Gear, whatever. Pretty interesting. It's an Indonesian bass, but honkin' instrument. Brand new. So he's played around with it a little bit and he said it's not playing right. Why is it buzzing? Because it's brand new, that's why. So he took the truss rod cover off, and I don't know why, but he took it off, and maybe he was going to try to adjust the truss rod in there, only to find that there's two truss rods. So when you got something this wide, yeah, you need two truss rods like that. Or if it's a Rickenbacker. A couple of things I've measured already. Yeah, the pickups are not too bad. I think I may have already adjusted them, but that doesn't matter really. That's the easy part. What we have is a really, really straight neck, I think. Because, yes, it's buzzing like crazy everywhere. Let's just see what we got. There we go. Okay, capo at the first fret, 12 thousandths at the, that's a little tight. At the 7th fret, the neck is so straight, probably almost in a back bow if I would guess. It's pinching the feeler gauge. There's no clearance there. So, yeah, that's why it would be buzzing. Certainly. Let's just take a look. Now, 100%, it's so flat that it's, I don't see that it's in a back bow yet, but it is so flat that it's not acceptable and it's not playable. Just out of curiosity. Just out of curiosity. Okay, they got the first fret right. I can see that that's doing its thing. Let's make sure we're tuned up. The tension. Alright, where are we at here? Are you going to pick up for me or not? Helps if you're in the tuner actually instead of the amp. Hey, human, I make mistakes. So B, E, A, D, G, C. Yeah, pretty interesting. Let's check this one more time now that we're up to tension before I start chasing my tail. But I know it's too tight. Yeah, it's way too tight. Whenever your feeler gauge gets caught like that, you're just too tight. Meaning the neck is too straight. Yeah, follow? So, before we do anything else, we're going to adjust our truss rods. And we're also going to check the C, which, yeah, it's too tight too. So, typical, customers, people in general, well, it's brand new. Why would it need a setup? Because it's brand new. They send them flat and loose when they ship them from the factory to wherever their destination is. So I am going to give a 1/4 of a turn on each truss rod because they're both tight on both sides of the fretboard, the bass and the treble. So we loosen to the left approximately a quarter turn. And then remeasure, retune and remeasure. This is the most critical adjustment to start any setup. If you don't do this first, you're not going to get to where you want to be at the end of the setup. Because neck relief will affect every other measurement that you're dealing with. So it did loosen because everything went flat. I'm looking at my tuner here, sorry. And it's important that after you make an adjustment, you tune it back up because you get the string tension back up. And that little bit might or might not make a difference, but in my opinion it does. And then we remeasure. And if we need to repeat as necessary. And do it in small increments. I started with a quarter of a turn because it was really tight. And guess what? Now the feeler gauge is loose in there, right? And that's what you want. It should just kiss at the 7th fret. Not be aggressive, not be too loose that it's missing the string. You want it to touch the string, but just kiss the string and the fret. And then the C string at the same position. I'm sure the microphone's picking up on it. It's just perfect. That's all it needed was a quarter of a turn. Now, we're going to restring this instrument. We're going to de-string it, put new strings on it. So we're going to recheck that adjustment absolutely 100%, before we're done. So I'm going to pause, as I always do, to de-string. And the reason we're putting new strings on it is because I just don't know what these are. And either does the customer, and he requested, let's start with a fresh set of new strings. We're string of choice today. Ernie balls, nothing wrong with them. 130 to, I think, 32. So, and I actually see something weird right here on the B string and the E string, where with tension, it comes over the nut, and then it bows out right here and then goes around the peg. So something isn't tensioning right. And then the E string actually bows the other way. So the strings are bent. I don't know, but it's a moot point. We're going to take them off. And of course, while I have them off, I'm going to take them off. I'll be right back. And we're going to check all the hardware. We're going to make sure that all the screws are tight, the neck screws, the strap buttons, all the hardware up here. Brand new guitar. I can't tell you how many times I get them, and everything is loose and wonky and just wobbling around, which is going to make for some really bad tuning stability. Yeah, follow? So stand by. So off camera, yes, we took the strings off. I did take the time to polish the frets a little bit. Yeah, brand new guitar. Guess what? I got looking at them really closely, and nastiness. I mean, they're already corroded and tarnished. So why wouldn't I do that for him, right? Clean them up, do it the right way. We are going to, before we oil, just to check hardware. This one seems tight. Yep. Okay, they're tight. And before I forget, let's just make sure. I already checked the neck. It did is tight. These were not. I can tell you that they all were taking about a quarter of a turn. That one took a half a turn. Brand new guitar, loose bridge screws. Wow, really loose. Zoiks. Oh, it's a brand new instrument. Why would it need any work? Yeah, there you go. I just proved it. I'm going to oil the board. I cleaned and polished the frets. It's not terrible, but watch what happens. Yeah, follow. This is why we do this. And you think it doesn't matter, but it does. I know I sound like a broken record sometimes, but you can see the difference already. And by the way, as you're doing this, because I polished the frets a little bit, we're getting a lot of tarnish off of there too. And the oil helps facilitate that. So I'm going to pause. I don't want to eat up a whole bunch of time. I really want to spend time on this video doing the setup for this guitar. So stand by. I will be right back. I just wanted to illustrate this is what we're doing. So we're back. Yeah, oiled the board, cleaned the frets, put new strings on it. String of choice, like we showed you. This player wants a half step down. So B becomes B flat. E becomes E flat. A becomes G sharp. D becomes C sharp. G becomes F sharp. And C becomes B. So yeah, it's B flat, E flat, G sharp, C sharp, F sharp, B. Don't ask me why, but that's what he wants. So with that alternate tuning, we still have to make sure that we're good here with neck relief at that tuning with this string tension before we start doing, string height. Follow? So on the bass side, it's a little tight. Now remember, we already adjusted the neck once, but I still don't like that. And that's the alternate tuning and different strings. I don't know what was on there before, and it doesn't matter. They're gone. It's pretty close, but that side isn't as bad. Let's just eyeball this thing and see what we can see. Oh, there's definitely relief in there. I'm gonna run with that. I'm gonna run with that. And if we have to adjust it after it settles overnight, we will. It's okay. It's a little tight, but not like being stuck in there. So we have relief. I can sight down and see relief. What we're going to do now is string height and see if we get any buzzing. If we get any buzzing, then we're going to have to open it up slightly. New strings, they're going to stretch. Okay, everything's holding tune. The next step is string height, and then pickup height, and then we got to double check our intonation, which is always fun on an instrument like this. Yeah, let's see. 10/64. Can you say fail? 9, 8, 8, 8, 8. Yeah. I wasn't expecting that, but I was expecting it to be a little tall. Yeah, we got to get after this right here. All right? So what we're going to do, This one is at 10/64. Now, probably 7 is going to be livable, so we're easily 3/64 too high here. Almost the same here, and then 8/8/8/8. They all have to come down. I want to see 7/64 all the way across the board. We might tail off if the instrument will allow it, and try to get closer to 6/64 once we get over here. You follow? Pretty sure. Probably gonna need my metric. Oh, these will work. So down 3 turns on the B, the low B. And then we got to retune. And, you know, wow. I'm just going to come down a whole turn on the rest of them. And then check for, you know, level saddles and whatnot. This is going to take a little time because it's not just a 4-string, and they're so out of whack that drop them, retune, recheck, fine tune. It's going to eat up some video time, so I'm going to, again, pause slightly. Wow, these are not even close. So, yeah, stand by. We'll be right back. Okay, so off camera, I lowered them all just guessing. So I want to make sure that they're as level as possible before we start fine tuning, which is what we're going to check right now. Too many things out my way. So guessing, just dropping them all down because they were all too high. Let's take a look. I'm looking for 7/64 on the B, the low B. B as in boy. Exactly 7/64. And that's tuned up. Well, tuned to half step. On the A, or the E, I'm sorry, 7. When you get to the A, just below 7, almost just over 6. On the D, it's a little low, but I'm going to see what happens. Oh, that one's too high. I'm going to lower the G. Yeah. We're going to lower the G. Getting the movie here. What I'm trying to do is 7 7 6 6 6 6 6, and you know, follow that down. I don't think the higher treble, or as you move towards the treble side, I don't think they need to be as tall as the big honking cable strings over here. Let's check that. Probably went a little too far. I don't know what's coming out on the movie here, but trying to show you what we're doing. 6 and 6. So what we have is 7/64, 7, almost just over 6, but almost 6/64, 6 6 and 6. So as you go across the radius, I did lower it slightly. There's no reason for these to be as tall as these, the bass strings, because these are, it's like friggin' cable, you know. They're huge strings. There's no getting around that, right? Let's make sure we're tuned up. here. Yeah, see, we lowered our string action. Now we're too close to the pickups. Remember when we started, I checked that just for curiosity, and it was pretty good. Yeah, we're too close. Part of the setup, you got to pay attention to this stuff, and this is kind of one of those last things that you check. We still have to check our intonation, and I want to check neck relief one more time, but I think we're in the home stretch. I think we're in the home stretch. Yeah. And these aren't like doing a 4-string bass, I can tell you, because you got 2 extra everything. That's perfect. Yeah, it's just a lot more instrument. Perfect. I can live with that. Make sure we're still tuned. Yeah. It's flat. These were too long. I want to open that up slightly. Intonation. Usually they're sharp. Usually they're sharp. You don't usually see them flat. Dead on. That's all it took. Just a couple of. Get up there. Oh, this B is really okay. You want to play around? All right, come on, you. Dead on. Harmonic is good. There we go. And you see, this can take forever. They're all a little flat. Yep. All right, stand by. I got to get all these adjusted. So the first one was flat. I adjusted it. I'm now going to go through all of them because I'm not going to do that on camera. It'll take me 30 minutes to get the intonation set. Usually that's perfect, and it's not on this one. Brand new guitar. Why do I need a setup? All right, so everything's tuned up, and man, settling in nicely. I'm going to try to play this thing. I don't like extra strings. I play 4-string bass, and I only use 2 of them. So I'm just kidding around. Just kidding around. Let's see what it sounds like, right? Give it a shot. I don't know. I don't know if I can even play this thing. Any volume? It's just too much fretboard for me. Pretty interesting, pretty neat. I mean, active. I tested off camera. I tested the battery in the back, of course, because we've got to check that. What did we end up doing on this thing? A lot, really. I mean, it's off. between off camera and on camera, it was probably, almost 2 hours of monkeying around with this thing because it was way more out of whack than usual. I'm going to tell you that usually the factories, and Ibanez one of them, they always get the intonation right. On this one, it was way out of whack. I mean, way out of whack. And I don't like that because you have to adjust it and it takes time. It's very time consuming, and off camera I had to do all of that. And it's, check your 12th fret, check your 17th fret, check your, harmonic, check the, holding it and fretting it. And then you got to move them and you got to test it all over again. And then getting the string height just right where this instrument likes it. It's right around just a little bit over 7/64 and then tailing off as we go across the radius. That's where this instrument wants to play at the tuning that the customer requested, which is half a step from 440. And I can live with that. I'm okay with that. My band plays in half step live, and it's very common. Big honking thing, man. This thing looks like a train track to me. It's just big and wide and too much bass guitar for me. I don't need it, don't like it, but some people do, and that's why I'm here. We fixed it up. We got it set. This one for a new instrument was a little farther out of whack than usual, but we got it square. I'm going to let it settle overnight because I can, and I'm going to check adjustments in the morning. It's Blackjack with 396 Guitars. We'll talk soon. And like, share, love me, hate me, make a comment. Talk soon.